This is such a huge week, obviously the return of MasterChef, but Poe, you're usually the only royalty in any kitchen that you step into.
Oh, please.
But you had to share the crown with none other than Meghan Markle. What was she like?
There's so much public conjecture about this. She was so delightful, like nothing but praise for the time that we spent for her. Very easygoing, good sense of humour, like consummate professional. I mean, she's an actor, right? So she just slid right into that judging role like seamlessly.
Did she seem to like food? Yeah, did she seem to like food?
She loves food. Yeah.
There is a lot, said about her. She gets a lot of trolling. Was she genuinely lovely, or can you see why people may not like her?
No. Genuinely, I think it's very interesting because when you drill down, no one can actually really say why. It's one of those situations. And at the end of the day, I really feel for her because she's still a human. There's an emotional human at the end of that when all this hatred that people are spitting out. No, she was honestly so lovely.
Was Harry there as well or not?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay. It's an Australian radio. Coffee is brewing, commuters are stuck in traffic, and listeners are expecting the usual mix of light banter and trending topics. Then suddenly, a MasterChef Australia judge drops a bold, unexpected defense of Meghan Markle live on air. Social media? Instantly buzzing. Critics? Caught off guard. Listeners? Leaning in closer. MasterChef Australia judges are known for their sharp palates and even sharper critiques. They're the ones who can tell if your sauce is under-seasoned from across the room. But stepping into a heated cultural conversation, that's a whole different recipe. So when one of the show's most recognizable faces took a stand on Meghan Markle during a live radio segment, it wasn't just surprising, it was headline-worthy. The conversation reportedly started innocently enough, a discussion about public figures constantly being under scrutiny. But then Meghan's name came up, and that's when things took a turn. Instead of dodging the topic or staying neutral, the judge leaned in. Why? What made them speak up in such a public and unexpected way? Meghan Markle is no stranger to controversy. Whether it's royal tensions, media headlines, or online debates, her name tends to divide opinion almost instantly. But during this radio exchange, the MasterChef judge didn't play it safe. They pointed out something many people feel but don't always say out loud. The intensity of criticism directed at Meghan can sometimes cross a line, not in a preachy or dramatic way, but in a calm, matter-of-fact tone that made listeners pause. Think about it. How often do public figures actually challenge popular narratives in real time? The judge highlighted the idea that behind the headlines is a real person navigating an incredibly complex life. And whether you agree with Meghan or not, that perspective hit differently. Listeners began calling in. Social media lit up. Some praised the honesty, others weren't so convinced. And just like that, a simple radio segment turned into a national conversation. At first glance, it might seem like just another celebrity defending another celebrity. But dig a little deeper, and something more interesting emerges. This moment tapped into a bigger question. Are we too quick to judge public figures without seeing the full story? In today's world, opinions form in seconds. Headlines spread faster than facts. And once a narrative sticks, it's hard to shake. The MasterChef judges' comments felt refreshing because they disrupted that pattern. They didn't demand that everyone suddenly become a Meghan supporter. Instead, they invited listeners to think a little more critically and maybe a little more compassionately. Because whether you're a fan of Meghan or not, the conversation suddenly becomes about something bigger: media responsibility, public perception, and the human cost of constant scrutiny. So, why don't we see more moments like this? Here's the truth. Speaking out, especially on controversial topics, is risky. For celebrities, one comment can spark backlash, headlines, and endless online debate. It's often easier to stay silent, stick to safe topics, and avoid rocking the boat. So when someone does speak up, it stands out. The MasterChef judge could have easily deflected, given a vague answer, changed the subject, but they didn't. And that decision, it's part of what made the moment so powerful. Because it reminds us that sometimes the most impactful statements aren't loud or dramatic, they're honest. Still, not everyone agreed. Some critics argued that celebrities should stay in their lane. Others questioned whether defending Meghan was necessary at all. Should public figures use their platform to weigh in on social conversations, or stay focused on their craft? There's no simple answer, but this moment certainly added fuel to the debate. And it also left many listeners thinking about their own role in these conversations. You don't have to be on radio or have millions of followers to experience something similar. Think about the last time you heard someone being criticized at school, online, or in your friend group. Did you speak up or stay quiet? Moments like this radio exchange highlight something important. It's easy to go along with the crowd. It's harder to challenge it. And yet, those small acts of speaking up can shift perspectives in ways we don't always see immediately. Not every headline tells the full story. Taking a second to think critically can make a huge difference. Speak thoughtfully, not loudly. You don't need to shout to be heard. Calm, honest perspectives often land stronger. Accept that not everyone will agree. And that's okay. Healthy conversations involve different viewpoints. Remember the human side. Behind every trending topic is a real person. That perspective alone can change how we engage. Simple, right? But not always easy. And that's exactly why moments like this stand out. Even after the radio segment ended, the conversation didn't. Clips were shared. Quotes were reposted. Opinions kept flowing. Why? Because this wasn't just about Meghan Markle or a MasterChef judge. It was about something people are constantly navigating. How do we talk about others? Especially in a world where everything is public. And maybe that's why this moment stuck with so many people. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't universally agreed upon. But it was real. And in a media landscape that often feels scripted or exaggerated, that kind of authenticity stands out. Still, there's one final layer to this story that makes it even more interesting. What started as a simple radio discussion turned into a moment that sparked debate, reflection, and a whole lot of opinions. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway here. Conversations matter. Perspectives matter. And sometimes, one unexpected voice can shift everything. Do you think the MasterChef judge was right to speak up? Or should they have stayed out of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments.